going, so just give it a minute. It's gonna go live. All right, everyone. 3, 2, 1, action. We are live. We are here with a very, very special member of the elite fleet, Shingsay Lee. He came to us as a dropshipping boy, and we brought him in, let him drink the milk from the Build Assets Online bosom of abundance, and now he has grown into a dropshipping man. Shingsay, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So, Shingsay, tell us a little be yourself. Introduce yourself. How you got started with online business. Maybe are you still working now? Stuff like that. Like, let's paint a picture of
Yeah,
what it all looks like.
yeah, for sure. So a little bit about me. I was born out in California, moved around there a little bit, moved into the Midwest when I was about 13. I went to college there. Currently am in Louisville, Kentucky. So that's where we live right now. As far as business, I got my undergrad in business, wanted to start my own business, but never did it until last year. So basically, I started last year, and I'm working still right now, a 40-hour a week job, and doing this on the side. So keeping me busy for sure,
Yeah.
but it's a good thing. Um,
Do you feel like any of your business undergraduate experience is carried over into doing drop shipping and stuff like that?
Man, that's a good question. I often think about that, and there's not much that I recall that I use, because I mean it was business administration, so it's very broad,
Mm-hmm.
and so they kind of give you a little bit of everything. But I didn't jump into a business kind of job. Like I wasn't in sales or anything like that right after. So that I guess you don't really use any of that.
Well, I mean, I feel like we can give college some credit here. Like you didn't even learn accounting stuff.
Well, I did learn. I did learn something. I'm not saying that college is bad. I did learn,
Yeah, yeah.
but accounting was not my strong suit, and I was definitely a different man in college than I am today. So,
Okay.
uh, but yeah, I did learn, some like business plan writing, and a little bit of accounting. I mean, I cannot tell you like, hey, this is the steps for accounting. Like, you need to do these things, but I do remember some things like, income, expenses, little things like that. But other than that, and you got to balance everything. But other than that, yeah.
I like to say I got my accounting education in the streets because, just trial by fire. You got the transactions coming in. You got to bring it to your accountant. So you better get to categorizing and reconciling and doing accounting because you have no choice.
Well, we hired a bookkeeper to do our accounting for us because basically what would happen is every year tax time would come and it'd be like somewhere in January or February, and Joe would spend probably at least a week just like going crazy, just printing things and just scrambling and really in complete shambles as to how much of a mess our financials were. So eventually we decided to actually hire someone in the Philippines to do our accounting for us. And I think we actually learned a lot from him. Could you verify that, Joe?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's a professor in accounting. And I mean, he basically goes through our books, helps categorize everything. Of course, I check it, just taught a lot of things about, best practices and stuff like that. And honestly, like not that I did anything wrong or bad before. It's just my level of efficiency with it was rather low, but he knows all these tricks and tips in QuickBooks where it's like automated and, so accounting definitely is a very, very, very valuable skill if you're going to do business. But
Yeah, definitely. So also, like what is a business plan? And like how is it actually, do you feel like business plans actually can have any carryover into a business having success?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've read not a lot, but I have read some articles of about entrepreneurs, CEOs who are for that and are against it. And so I used to think, hey, you should have that. But well, I would say I don't have a business plan. I don't have one written out. But I think that it is a good idea to have one so that you can have structure. That's something to fall back on. I guess there are other people who, like a guy I read, he said that, well, how can you plan for everything with a business plan? Because when you start a business, as we know, there are going to be bumps, hurdles in the road that you have no idea was coming. So, I mean, how are you going to plan for that? You can't really plan for that. So, I mean, I see both arguments. Ideally, it would be good to have a business plan so that you can actually be proactive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it's good for like writing your ideas down almost and just formulating, okay, like, I want to do this. This is what I'm going to do for marketing. This is what I'm going to do for.
Oh, I think Mike got cut off there. You still there, Shingsay?
I'm still here.
Okay, cool. Hopefully he comes back. But yeah, no, I agree with his sentiment there. And I find ourselves, so at first, and I probably would still say this to a beginner, at first I might tell someone that a business plan is totally worthless. By the way, if your speakers are, maybe you could lower them a little bit because I hear myself echoing. But thank you. So yeah, I would start and probably say a business plan is like totally worthless. But, and I probably agree with that for a beginner, because for a beginner, you really don't know what is going to happen. It's just, you have no idea. But I think as we become a little bit more advanced, we make these like we can plan for things better. Like we want to run ads at this amount. We want to convert at this amount. If we're not converting at this amount, we're going to make these tweaks and see what happens. And it's not to say that we always stick to that, because we don't, but or that we even write it down, because we don't. But it's just we talk about these things now. We have a better idea of what we can and will plan for. I'm trying to get Mike back on the call. I don't know how to do it. Hopefully he'll just end up rejoining. But either way, so we can get on to the next thing that we're talking about, which is, how did you get started in dropshipping, and what drew you to it in the first place versus like all the other business models online? Did you research other business models online, or you just went like headfirst into doing e-commerce?
Yeah, so I started. It was last year. I just, I had a business degree. I've always wanted a business, and I was like, it's about time that I start a business. So I started looking around. I started looking online to see what I could do, and I ran across dropshipping, but it was low ticket. So I researched that, everything online. I was kind of skeptical, like, does this really work? What is going on with this? What do they do? So I looked into that. And then I also looked into Amazon FBA. And I was going to pull the trigger on that. And then I found a guy who did high ticket drop shipping. And I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, high ticket, larger items, you're going to get better margins. I was like, that sounds logical to me. So I looked into him, started watching him, what he said. And then I didn't pull the trigger on his course for maybe a couple of months. And then I was just like, you know what? Because I was looking at other things too, like affiliate marketing, and ClickBank, things like that. But I just said, you know what? Instead of just talking and watching all these people, I just need to do something. And so I pulled the trigger, bought his course back in like June and of last year. And then I didn't really get a website started until this year in March.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I got started.
So to be clear, and this is becoming more and more of a common thing ever since Mike and I launched Build Assets Online. We have people come to us that have tried this before. They've maybe have a dropshipping store already, but they're not making any sales. So you were in that situation where you kind of were already, you had tried your hand at it. Nothing was really happening. That's why I made the joke earlier that you started off as a dropshipping boy and now you're a dropshipping man. So kind of tell us how you found us and the struggles that you were having and how we helped alleviate some of that. Mike is back. Welcome back, Mike.
I don't even know what the hell. I have not had one internet issue in like the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
Yeah. You have a camera issue now. Well, no, not now. I can see your eyes were like cut off, but yeah, there you go. I just asked Shingsay how he found us and all that good stuff. So
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, last year in June, I bought the course for this guy, took the course, and then in August, I was looking at high ticket drop shipping on YouTube, and you know how YouTube, there's like this vortex of stuff that just kind of comes up. And I saw, well, I didn't see you guys actually. I was researching high ticket drop shipping, and you guys came up on, nope, that was wrong. I was listening to Entrepreneurs on Fire. That's what it was. I was listening to Entrepreneurs on Fire. I was on the website and I was scrolling through things, and I saw, hey, these two brothers doing what's called high ticket drop shipping. I'm like, hey, that's the course I bought. Let me look to see what they say. And so I listened to it, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I found your guys' YouTube channel, subscribed, started listening to you guys. I actually listened to all of your guys' videos right away just to see what you guys said. And so I was just like, I'm pumped. Like, let's get this started. So I started getting my stuff together. And then, like I said, that's how I found out who you guys were. Started following you guys, listening to you guys pretty much on the daily. And then, I heard about your Discord when it was free. I remember thinking, I'm like, it's free. I need to jump on this. And I didn't, and you guys closed it. And then, there was in March, I think it was. Yeah. So I started my website, went live in March, started running ads, and towards the end of March, and I was running into like roadblocks, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna jump and pay for the membership and just get in there and ask you guys questions. You guys have done it, so that's how I'm here, and I'm glad that I am here.
Yeah, I remember when you first joined, you sent us a picture of your ads account, and you were like, "Please help me." And it was just like the graph. It was like nothing, and then you started it, and then it just jumped way up, and you were spending money out of control, and you had no sales. And like, you'd be surprised how common that is. People like don't take our course, and they kind of just wind up finding us because they're stuck with whatever else they were doing.
Yeah.
And basically, we went over, I guess, some like key principles for doing Google Ads. Like, do you want to talk about that and like kind of your evolution of understanding of Google Ads?
Yeah. So I'm very thankful for you guys for teaching me a little more about that. And I'm definitely still a young grasshopper, but I've grown a little bit. So when I first started, I just ran ads kind of based off of the guy that I took the course from. He wasn't really he didn't really specify anything about segmentation, and so I just did all my products. And so that was, I mean, I had no clue, no idea. And so when I came to you guys, that's what it was like. It was just, oh yeah, I need to segment a little bit. I need to, and so when you showed me that, it was very helpful for me so that I can see how much I'm spending, where I'm getting clicks, and so my understanding of it now is a lot clearer. Not all the way there. I'm still learning, and I think there's a learning curve when you do anything like that, because you just have to do it to kind of learn, how it goes, and kind of like the nuances that come with running ads. But I have a better grasp of it now, and I just need to go out there, and I think you guys have said it before, is just you need to spend money to make money. And so I think that was the fear too, of like, I'm not going to spend a lot of money and see what happens. But I think that's true, is you do need to spend some money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just real quick in the chat, we have some questions coming in. Amazing Satisfy says, "Hi, can I ask questions?" You can leave some questions, and we usually get to them like after the show. So if you're leaving questions in the chat after we're done with the main part of the show, then we will get to the questions. So, Shingsay, I just wanted to point out that you had mentioned that you were going to join our free members, our free Discord that we had, and you were hesitant for so long. And I just want to stress that, like, if you're trying to figure everything out on your own and you're scared to invest in a course or in a membership group like our Discord, by the way, the price is going up Friday. So buildassetsonline.com/membership to lock in the current price, but it is going up. I think Friday might be the last day or Saturday, but whatever. Yeah, you don't realize how much of time you lose and energy and focus that you lose, like just wasting time, just sitting around being like, do I get this? Do I join it? Like, it's just
Even something that's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And we were talking about this. I feel like we talk about it all the time, like decision fatigue, and really, I mean, even like our paid membership, it's not that much money. It's like currently it's less than $2 a day. Right. And so like, what was the resistance to joining that?
Yeah. I guess it was just thinking like, what could they do for me? And this is about $50, a month that I could be, using it towards ads or whatever. But, I just, exactly what you were saying, Joe, just trying to decide, and how can I get through this hurdle that I'm at? I'm banging my head against the wall, and I'm just like, there's people I know, you guys, that have done it, who help people. And so I just need to invest. And I think of it as an investment. Like, you're putting this into your business. And so I was like, people who've done it before, I'm going to glean whatever I can from them and get help from them, because they've been where I've been, or where I'm at right now. So that's why I did jump. But initially I didn't, because I was like, well, I don't know, what could I gain? Maybe I can do this on my own and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I was just fed up, and I was like, you know what? I just need to jump.
So has your attitude shifted since then? So the way Mike and I look at it is, if we have a big problem or a big thing we're trying to figure out, like, we go right to buying a course. Like, it's not even a hesitation. Like, if it's something that I know I have to spend more than an hour on, or like 2 hours on to figure out, I will pay someone to tell me how to do it, or to do it for me. So are you moving more in that direction now?
Yes, I'm moving more in that direction. I know that because I've been looking on Fiverr and places like that to do some like mundane things that I've been spending so much time doing, and just seriously just like
listing products and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand the sentiment, especially when you haven't even made sales yet.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's like you haven't even gotten like any progress. And so it's like that idea, like, you don't want to dig yourself further into the hole.
Right.
Right. And so, that's like really the worst place to be, because once you're actually making just a little bit of sales, like, you can justify reinvesting into something else.
Yeah.
And so I definitely feel for people when they're in that position. And I mean, we definitely fall victim to that too, Joe. Like even for new business models, if we're not getting the progress we want, we usually will hesitate a bit more to keep investing in something, because it's like people do fall into that trap where they're just buying and buying and buying, and they're not even like giving things time to get results, or just trying things on their own enough to really crack the code. And so it is a fine balance of trying to figure that out. But I think it also goes back to, there's a difference between people who like are investing in things because they're really desperate to get to the solution, and people that invest in things because it feels good to actually buy something, and it feels like all your problems are going to get taken care of for you, which is not really ever going to happen. And for our students, we really try and stress, like, we can't just, give you all the answers and do everything for you. Like, you can tell us what's wrong and we're going to give you a solution, or, something we think is wrong, but you need to go and take like as much action as possible and try and get that done. And don't talk to us until you actually do it.
Yeah.
So what happened after we had that discussion on your ads account and you started doing things?
Yeah, so I implemented what you had recommended. I did that pretty much right away, and was able to. I think we also talked a little bit more about getting the cost to kind of equalize, and so I was able to do that, and I just started. Even before that, actually, let's see. I got the membership probably in April, and then in beginning of May, so just a few weeks ago, I got my first sale. It was a hard sale. Had to do a refund on that, but So I mean, when I saw that, it was like huge. It was on a Saturday. I woke up and I saw it. I was like, "This is crazy."
It was a pretty big sale too, right?
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was a huge sale, and I'm like, "This is really happening,"
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty pumped about that. Talked to the customer. Some things kind of happened. Had to, cancel the order, but I think it was a few days after that I got another order. A couple of other orders. So it just kind of came, and I was like, "This is crazy! I'm making money online." I implemented the things that you guys asked me to do, and even since then, I've changed a little bit. I've increased spending and whatnot. But yeah. So since I implemented that, that's what happened.
Yeah, it's just like even though you had to refund that first sale, it's like a pulse of life.
Mm-hmm.
Before when you have nothing, it's really discouraging, and there's no, you need to get from 0 to 1, and even though you had to refund that sale, it's like you still have some progress, and you can tell you're moving towards your goal.
Right.
But now that you have some real sales, this is where you can actually start increasing spend and start optimizing things, and start figuring out what products are working for you that you may want to expand upon, what products maybe are spending too much. And so this part is, I think, way easier than going from where you were to getting that first initial sale.
Yeah, I would second that. It's just, there's, you see a little bit of victory, small victories. I mean, you're not exactly where you want to be, but you get these little victories where you're like, okay, it'll push me through the next lull.
Definitely.
Wow, we got our first spammy message in the chat. Adil quit us. We're a dropshipping service provider. Need a shout out, please. Yeah, man. There it is. We're shouting you out.
What kind of service do you provide,
Yeah.
Mr. Kudus?
I'm honored.
How much do I have to pay for your dropshipping service? Yeah, it's just cool. People are finding us.
Yeah.
They're trying to offer some nice services.
Yeah. Everyone, go buy it. Go buy Adil Quidis' service right now.
All right, well, we can get to some actual questions, Joe.
Yeah, let's do it.
Amazing Satisfy. You can ask questions. Feel free.
Yeah.
We're here to satisfy your questions. Okay. Focused. Talking about the streets. Teeth Health Central says, do you do things to be more tax efficient, like send money abroad? Well, we don't do that. We don't do like offshore bank account stuff. That would be.
We were talking about like bookkeeping, and that's. I mean,
that's where your mind goes. Teeth Health.
We love Teeth Health Center. He's a loyal member of the Elite Fleet as well, but he tends to. You say one thing, and I think his mind immediately goes somewhere else.
But really, to answer the question, the tax laws are in effect for you to like navigate through them. That's how I look at it. Like the government doesn't want the taxes are almost a penalty for, if you get income, you get taxed on that. Whereas if you take that income and you put it back into the economy, you don't get taxed on it because you're stimulating the economy. You're creating jobs, you're creating housing. And so that's the whole point of like trying to pay less taxes. It's not like about skirting around the laws and looking for loopholes. It's about doing things in a way that give you a tax advantage, but it also gives an advantage to like your business, other jobs, and stuff like that. So yeah, you should always try and pay less taxes. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Shingsay, with your business degree.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I don't know anything about taxes. I mean, for me, that's why I have an accountant. But yeah. I mean, I just kind of pushed all tax questions to my accountant.
Yeah, and that's we don't do much tax stuff ourselves. We don't talk about taxes much on here, and we don't try to give tax advice. So
that's the advice that we give: is go talk to your accountant.
Yeah, because that's what we say a lot.
and I want to repeat this since it came up: is that our accountant literally spends all day, like all of his working hours, like studying the tax code, going to seminars, like learning everything he can about the updates. So how can you run an online portfolio of businesses and do that at the same time? The answer is you can't. So you really have to defer to an accountant. And that's all there is. You gotta, anyone who goes on YouTube looking for tax advice, you gotta not do it. That's my tax advice: is don't get tax advice on YouTube and on the internet.
And to be clear, we have an accountant in the U.S. that like does our taxes, but our bookkeeper that we were talking about earlier is in the Philippines. So we pay him full time, and so he can give us tax advice to some degree, even though he's not maybe familiar with our exact like state tax codes, but he would have a good broad understanding of like accounting and bookkeeping and how everything fits together. And so it's not even that expensive to get, an overseas accountant.
Yeah.
Overseas bookkeeper.
Don't take advice from your overseas bookkeeper, but I'm saying that's just for strict organization. I know Mike wasn't trying to say that.
But. Yeah, don't, take what they say with a grain of salt, but if you want to talk to someone with expertise, hire an expert.
Yeah, and understanding bookkeeping will help you understand accounting in the end, because when you file your taxes, you're basically reporting on your books. And so it all starts with understanding how your books work. So
yeah, definitely.
Mike, whoa, Mike Olaco, Mike, go return some money to the economy via your internet provider. I don't think it's his internet. I really, really don't think it's his internet, because we're on the exact same internet provider most of the time, and my internet is good. I think it's his computer.
Well, I don't know how that would be possible, but
because the MacBook Air, I think the Wi-Fi card in it is really bad. Because my wife has a similar issue with her Wi-Fi on the MacBook Air. I got my fat desktop PC. I'm plugged directly into the Ethernet, so I think that's where you got to go.
Listen, if I took that income and I bought a better computer, I'd have to pay taxes on that money. So that's what I have to say to you, Mr. Lacko. Jacob asked, when it comes to your first store, what should you outsource first? I want to focus more on ads instead of fulfilling orders and doing customer service. Richard Branson wouldn't do those things. Where'd you learn that, Jacob? The Richard Branson phrase. Did we say that, or did you hear that from James Schramko? But you should definitely outsource product uploads first. That would be probably the quickest way to scale. And Shingsay was talking about that as well. Like, he spends probably too much time doing product uploads. That is the easiest thing to get rid of, because in the beginning, it's literally just copy and paste. Like, you don't need to modify all your descriptions to be SEO optimized. You don't need to do all this fancy stuff with images. Just have them get the basics up. And so you can start running ads and getting, traffic and clicks to it. And if it converts, then it converts. I don't think doing an SEO description or like putting in all this extra effort into individual products is going to make a huge difference in your sales in the beginning. It's going to come down to how organized your ad account is, how well that is running, versus something like a good SEO description.
Do you agree with that, Shingsay?
Yeah, I do. So I haven't outsourced mine yet. I'm actually looking to do that. But I remember when I was just setting up my website and just spending countless hours trying to upload things, trying to get pictures right, making sure it looks right on the website, the formatting is okay. I mean, that takes so much time. And when you have to figure something out, I mean, that you've never done before, and something comes up, it takes you like 2 hours to figure out this one thing. And, there goes 2 hours when you could have been uploading other products. So, yeah, I would recommend that highly, because I'm actually looking right now to do that.
Yeah. And, Jacob, like, you can find people to upload your products on Manila Craigslist, on Fiverr, maybe even Upwork if you want to spend a little bit more. But it's something that's readily available. People in the Philippines and, India, stuff like that, they know how to do it. So, and over time, I think if you hire someone, like if you go on Manila Craigslist and you interview and you hire someone, even if you don't use them full time in the beginning, you can at least establish a relationship with them. And so they know how to upload your products. And so that's what we do. Like, we have an office in the Philippines that just handles our product uploads. And so, we have like a big group chat with them. Whenever we get a new supplier, we just send them all the links and say, hey, all right, guys, put this on this store. And they go ahead and they do it. It's like, we spend no time on it. And then if a product is doing really well, or it's like a super high margin product, we want to make it stand out, then we'll go and we'll optimize the description and we'll do all these things to it. But, optimizing a bad idea, it's still going to be a bad idea. So,
yeah. Before we take some more questions from the chat, Shingsay, oh, look, I got my camera to show. I think I can get that working so it shows when I'm talking. But anyway, Shingsay, we kind of stopped talking about after that first sale. So can you tell us a little bit about like what kind of sales you're making now? Because someone asked that in the chat. Who asked it?
Yeah.
Someone said, how are the sales going now? And you've made quite a few, as far as we understand, which you tried to hide from us, might I add. We had to really get it out of you. So
no, my understanding with that. So to that point, my understanding, because I was like, man, okay, I've got a few sales. I'm looking for like 10, 15, 20 sales before I say, hey guys, look at this. But yeah, you're right. In our private chat, we did talk a little bit about it, and Joe was kind of telling me like, you should let us know these things that you're making sales. But yeah, so right now I've got I'd say four sales under my belt. So I mean it's better than I was a month ago.
Pretty big ones too, right?
That's progress. Yeah. So right now total sales for the month is about 5,000. So that was just 4 sales.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's around 1250 AOV. Someone in the chat was asking about like a typical average order value.
Yeah.
And it definitely varies. We have some stores where it's below 1,000. We have some stores where it's 2,000, and that's really kind of the beauty of it is you can decide what you want your average order value to be. You just choose to drive traffic to expensive products or maybe some less expensive products.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, you sell some $500 products easier, and it's worth doing that because it's an easy transaction versus something that's like a $2,000 sale or a $3,000 sale where you have to do phone support or, they may not come as often. So, Shingsay, have you had to take a lot of calls and like, have you closed any of these sales over the phone? What has that been like?
Yeah, so I haven't had to close any sales over the phone. I guess so. I had an issue and had to change payment gateways, and so I had a couple orders that were hung up, and so I had to create manual orders and contact the customers. So I guess I did it that way, but I was in contact with them. I did call on the phone. I was able to email them. But as far as support in regards to, hey, when are these things coming in? Very little. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Like, we have some stores where a lot of our sales are phone related. There needs to be some sort of contact. But yeah, to make $1,200 sales average and no phone support, that's pretty ideal. Yeah. Like, people, I think, get hung up that they're going to be answering the phones and, while they're at work and all this stuff. But this is proof that it happens. People go and they order. We've seen probably like $10,000 in transaction value, no contact at all.
Yeah.
It happens. I think it just depends on the niche and how good your store looks even. Like, if your store looks sketchy, then people are they want to call you and confirm that you're a legit company. And so, it does have a lot to do with how your store looks and how you're optimizing in that regard.
Yeah, I would say, to that point too. My first sale, I had to return it, but canceled it, but it was almost 10,000, and I woke up and I saw that, and I was like, "This is crazy."
Yeah,
I just, I was gonna make a lot of money on that one, but anyway, it's a large amount, and so I saw that, and I was like, "Yeah, this is real. This can really happen." And I don't even know how he got it. There was like no discount or anything either, so you just never know. And that's probably not. It'd be nice if it was an average order, but sometimes you just get one like that.
Shingsay, I'm just curious, and I don't know if you're comfortable talking about this, but like, how is it going? So I don't know, like, who your family members are, if you're telling anyone about this. What has that been like, kind of owning an online business and communicating it to those around you? Yeah. Did they believe you at first? Are they believing you now? Like, how is that whole process gone?
Yeah, so that has been very at the outset. It's been hard. So they're skeptical. Like, you're online. Like, how does that work? Even buying the course, it was kind of like, are you sure this isn't a scam, like a pyramid scheme or anything like that? I'm like, no, it's not a pyramid scheme. And so I think now they're seeing profit. I'm letting them know, hey, I made these sales. I'm making this much from these sales. So they see that there's profit, and so they're kind of like, wow, that is real. This is something that can happen, that you can do online. And I think the main thing is you just don't think it's possible, or you don't know someone personally that has done it. But once people kind of start seeing that, they're kind of like, oh, okay, this can be something that is sustainable and feasible.
Yeah, totally. And you definitely see that. Like, if you don't have anyone in your reality that's doing something like this, your natural instinct is to think, oh, it's like a scam. You need to find a way to poke holes in it, because if you're not seeing it around you, it must not be real.
Right.
And yeah, it's definitely hard, like, trying to convince family that this is something that's legit and you want to pursue it. And I'm sure now, like, they're starting to get it, but it is just funny how that happens. Even like, if you watched our interview with Jared, who's our cousin, we started doing it, and then because we did it, we were able to kind of show him the way. And now he has like, there's like 20 kids in Staten Island that are just killing it with drop shipping. You know, so it's like, once it starts to be more normalized, people are also willing to put more action into it because they believe it. They believe it 100% because they see everyone around them doing it. And so I think that also kind of gets in the way of new people, is like, they're not 100% committed in their head because they don't want to look stupid if they put all their effort into something and it's not real.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, and I've been told before too, like, you know, if you're gonna fail hard. So go 100%, you know, and if you fail, you learn. But I mean,
wait, is that from business school? Do you learn that in business school?
no, I don't know. Just I don't remember who it was that I heard that from. Someone told me that. So I mean, and I think like seeing things from you guys, you know, your screenshots and things like that, even in the midst of what's going on right now, COVID-19, that is reassuring. That is encouraging to see that, you know, because everything is shut down. Not everything, but you know, most of the country is shut down. There's still online revenue. There's online, like, there's money to make.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. You guys keep going.
Wait, Joe.
What's up?
Do you notice that in the video here, it's like a pixelated version of me is like taking up a third of the screen? Do you see that?
Oh, let me try and fix that. I don't know why that is. I think it's better now. Yeah. I don't know. I was trying to mess with some stuff because you look kind of pixelated, to be honest. So I'm trying to like switch. I don't know. I was trying to fix it. So I guess I messed it up even more. Anyway, I'll be right back. Sorry for the video quality, guys, but the audio quality is good. So you guys got nothing to complain about.
Yeah, whatever. They're still getting the content. So Shingsay, like, what would you say as far as when you were starting to learn stuff and you were going through our material? What would you say was like the most impactful thing that we talked about? Or it doesn't have to be us; it could be anyone. As far as online business.
Yeah, you know, I think one of the things is just doing something. You know, every day, just make sure that you're doing something. Even if it's 10 minutes, you know, just make sure that you're working on it, make sure that you're progressing and not just stagnant and just staying there and not doing anything. So I think that has been a driving force for me, is just daily do something on your business. Otherwise, you're just gonna, you know, set it over here and forget about it. So that's been very helpful. And for me, I think, you know, I took your guys' free course as well. So like setting goals.
Do you actually do that?
Do you
not write stuff down, or
I have written them down, but I don't do it consistently. So I have written them down. But I think that that's helpful to see on a daily basis.
Yeah, for sure. I got Joe to write some stuff down the other day too. So he's
I wrote it down on my own accord.
I know. I'm just kidding.
No, I was inspired by all the mindset talk with Jared. So I decided to write some stuff down. No, it's good. Believe me, it's good. I like writing stuff down.
Believe me. Yeah, and I think, you know, again, in the beginning, it's like you don't believe that this is a real part of life. And I think, you know, even having a huge content, like a huge backlog of videos to go through for you, or, you know, I do this too with like new business models and stuff. I just want to like consume as much of it as long as possible to kind of force that reality into your head. You know, the more you hear people talk about it and just kind of ingrain it in your brain, the more it seems like something regular to do. And for a lot of people, you know, doing a business online is not a regular thing to do. Trying to make your full-time income online is not a regular thing to do.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, like as I was thinking about this last year about what to do online, looking back at it, I hear I think Gary Vaynerchuk. He's just like, just do it, because a year from now you're gonna be like, if you didn't do it, you're gonna be like, I should have done it. And then if you did do it, you're like, wow, a year now from last year, I've progressed this much. I've started a business. I have done these things. And so I think enough with just, hey, I think you need to be wise. Don't get yourself into like $30,000-$40,000 in debt, but I think you should jump and just put some skin in the game and do it.
Yeah, no, there is absolutely no excuse to get yourself in debt to start an online business. There really is just none. Any sort of business, and you should never start it from a position of desperation. If you're desperate, like, you're going to make terrible decisions. You're not going to be focused. So, when you see people saying, I'm spending my last, $2 or on this course, and this has to work, this is it, it's probably not going to work if you're doing that. So
yeah, it's really bad.
Don't do that.
And that's why we get so mad with like these $20,000 like done for you packages and these automation services. It's just that's so much money that you can use to actually learn how to do whatever you're trying to do, and then that will make you so much more. Because once you learn it, you can just copy and paste it into multiple different websites, or, partner with someone and just teach them how to do it. It's like the possibilities are endless once you actually get your talent stack up. Don't just pay someone and expect an answer. So,
right.
Yeah.
So, want to go back to some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I don't even know where we were. Where did Adil Quiddis go with his service?
He said he left a link. I don't know where he left it, but everyone better hop on that.
It sounds like a great service.
Yeah.
All right.
He should be paying us for these shout outs.
Yeah. Mikal said he's taking out his credit card. It's pretty funny. Okay. Is it possible to sell a dropshipping store that is all set up, has suppliers, but no sales, and how much would it go for? We've heard of someone doing that, actually. I think they sold it for like $9,000. And
we would buy it if the suppliers were good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's worth someone's time, because it is almost like a done for you service to a degree. You have the website set up, you have the suppliers onboarded, and so I guess it would have some value. And you can go on, Shopify Exchange, put it up on there, and try and get some money for it. But in reality, I don't think it would be the best use of your time to do that. Teeth Health. I don't know if you're asking this just for fun, but what if you get a good supplier, then you should make money off them. You shouldn't go and try and sell it to someone else, because it's inherently less valuable, because there's no proof of profit or of concept or anything. So,
by the way, Shingsay, if you got to run, I mean, that's totally cool. We don't want to take much more of your time. So if we're going to sit and answer questions, unless you want to stay, we would love for you to stay, but I'm just leaving that up to you.
Yeah, I can stay.
Okay, cool.
That time.
Cool.
So, and Shingsay, if you have anything you want to chime in on, I mean, a lot of times when you're just getting started, like you have a better perspective for someone who hasn't done anything than we do, because we're going to answer it from, the 10,000 foot view, and we might miss like just a direct answer that you can probably give.
Yeah.
So, Focused, our friend Focus wants to know, how would you know if the suppliers are good? Well, that'd be if you make money off them.
Shingsay, what is your input on that?
Yeah.
Let's see what you've learned, Grasshopper.
So first of all, I would say make sure that they have map pricing. That's a good indicator. That's not the end all be all, but I think it's a good indicator that people won't come and undercut you. So I think that's one, like right off the bat, if they have that, that's a good sign. I think it really starts when you are contacting them and you're actually getting sales. I think that's when you can kind of that would be your litmus test, I guess you can say, as to, hey, do they communicate with you? Are they willing to work with you? Inventory, things like that. Are they pretty quick with that, or are they more of a headache to you, and it's going to cost you more time than you would like? So I think those are a couple of things, and obviously margin as well. But I think those are some of the things that would kind of indicate whether a supplier is good or not.
Yeah, and you made a bunch of good points, and I talk about that. I've definitely mentioned it in other podcasts, and I talk about it in the course. It's like you actually have no idea how good a supplier is until you start making sales for them, because you don't know if the shipping company that they use is really bad, and so all their stuff winds up breaking, and then they're not good with supporting you on getting it fixed. You don't know if they are like a pain in the ass in terms of giving refunds. Like there's so many things that can go into if a supplier is good or not. You have no choice but to get the supplier first and start making sales for them to come to that conclusion. And focused, I actually have a diagram in the course that breaks down like how to actually see if a supplier should be good or not in terms of, like the competition and their map pricing and, different things. And so we spell it out in that way in terms of like how to spot a potentially good supplier, but you'll never really know until you actually start selling them how good they really are.
Yeah. Mikalako asks, if you sell your eShop, do you educate the next owner?
If you want. Define it.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was saying, you need to define what you mean by educate, but it depends, I guess, how much help they need. Like, if you go on Empire Flippers, for example, and you list your website and someone wants to buy something from you, they may say, okay, I'll buy this, but I want 60 days of support, in terms of like Skype communication, showing me how to do different things I can't figure out. Or they may not need it. They may know exactly what they're getting into. And so they just kind of take the website and run. It's really whatever you decide to negotiate with that particular transaction.
Speaking of Empire Flippers, I just noticed that this pen that I have from them has a stylus.
Oh, you're decked out, Joe.
I know. Well,
you're a fanboy.
I was shooting another video that was relevant to Empire Flippers today, so I figured I'd put on the shirt. That's how it went down. I don't know where this pen came from.
That shirt is more social proof than any screenshot we can provide.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get the shirt unless you sell the website.
Do you get it if you buy one, though?
Okay, yeah, you can buy one.
Either way, you got mad clout if you're buying or selling a website.
Yeah.
I mean, if you bought a new store now, Focus 06. I mean, if you bought a new store now, sale history, the hypothetical that the guy above came up with, and you all said you would buy it. I don't understand the question.
Put down the pipe, Focus, and ask it. Shingsay, so when you were doing like your initial research on the store you were going to make and stuff like that, what was your mindset going into it? Because I know you didn't take our course, but the way that you actually positioned your store gives you a lot of ways to kind of pivot and find a good supplier, which is something we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
So was that based off of listening to us, or like how did you wind up doing that?
Yeah. So again, like I said, I bought the course for this other guy, and then two months later, I found you guys, and I saw your guys' course, and I was like, man, I should have waited 2 months because I would have rather taken your guys' course. But anyway, yeah. So I listened to you guys and about website and like the name and pivoting and all of that, and so. This guy, he did differently. He does it differently than you guys. I think you guys are probably the odd man out, where everyone's like, hey, you got to find a niche, you got to find these things, research these products, and
Yeah, because
then
they don't do it. Maybe they made a store once, and that's it. They don't have the experience doing it multiple times. Sorry to interrupt you.
no, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, that's why I was contemplating that. But I heard you guys, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do what you guys say because it makes sense. And so I actually reached out to Joe a couple of times because on your guys' website, you can email you guys and you guys will answer back. And so I actually asked a couple of questions because I was very, like the mindsets are a little bit different in the sense of how the model is a little bit different from you guys to this person. So I was asking about that, and you're like, you know what, just see it out, see what happens. And I was like, okay, but it's kind of like a hybrid. So I actually did what you guys say, but then used some of his stuff as well. But that's helped me, and I understand why you guys say that because it makes perfect sense. Because what if you don't get suppliers?
Well, our advice, the thing is, we approach it multiple ways. We have multiple stores with different approaches, and that's the thing. We've done many different things in the past, and because we've done it multiple times, we've designed our course in a certain way to be the most beginner friendly. It's not to say that it's the only way, or even that there are other ways in very, very niche circumstances that you should do it a different way. For example, if you have a really solid SEO strategy out of the gate, the way we teach for beginners might not be the best way, but there's no need to have that approach if you're at zero right now and you want to come in and make $10,000 a month. There's no need for that, or even beyond that, even $40,000 a month. There's no need to do it any other way than we teach.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, on paper, maybe, but in reality, no.
And I don't know if people like teach the super niche website idea, so like people don't step on each other's toes, and like I don't know. I feel like that might be a reason for it. It's like their students are more spread out, and not everyone is doing all the same things. But I really think advocating that is setting people up for failure, because it just doesn't make sense. Like these course creators are the only ones that are having people go and create stores with like so little products on them. If you look at any successful store that's just like a online e-commerce website, they're not super niche down. Mm-hmm. They're stores that they have some concept to them, but they sell a lot of things, and they have room within like their concept to expand to 10,000 products, 20,000 products, 100,000 products. And if you want to get that level or give yourself a good chance of making a lot of money, you need to mimic that. Don't just go and make a website about like one product type. It's ridiculous.
I mean, really, it's the same. And we found a similar situation with other business models as well online. Specifically with the content sites, the days of making a content site like bestkettlebell.com, probably those days are numbered. It would have to be a general weightlifting site.
Well, what do you think about like the whole concept? The whole reason that people talk about content sites like that is because the SEO is so tightly structured because everything is so related.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great.
You don't need that, so that kind of goes out the window.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on like,
No. I mean, look, it's hard to talk about this because everything has its place. I mean, we have a niche store right now. We're not really doing much with it, but I see the sales going up. I'm not gonna lie. I see stuff going down, and we barely put any effort into it. But I think, well, the sales aren't SEO related. But the point is, I'm saying a lot of stuff works. And again, it comes down to what we always say, which I think is going to become our tagline, is that you can get 2 sites, same owner, same niche, same design, or sorry, different owner, same niche, same design, and one can be a massive success and one can be a massive failure.
Yeah.
It's the execution at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Your camera's better now, Mike. That's good.
I had it on 360p. I just saw that. I upped it to 720p.
So it wasn't your internet.
This internet is fine. I don't know, man. I don't want to hear it anymore. If we get to 10,000 subscribers, I'll buy a really good computer. So.
Oh, speaking of 10,000 subscribers, I wanted to ask a favor of all of our live viewers, if possible. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we are on Apple. We do have like a podcast. So I really would like to get some reviews on that podcast. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Or you could just Google Build Assets Online podcast and look for the Apple podcasts. If you could just hop on there, and if you enjoy the show, leave us a review, and be sure to listen. If you're in your car or whatever, you can get Build Assets Online on the go. So,
yes. All right.
Crypto.
Adam.
Oh no,
Adam Crouch. Recognize that name. What is your philosophy on selling complementary items to your products when those complementary items are significantly lower priced? Basketball nets, for example, if you sell high-end basketball goals. Well, there's kind of 2 facets to that, right? You want to increase your average order value, and I don't know. Again, like selling something cheap on the side, it's really not going to make much of a dent in terms of that average order value going up. But also what accessories can do is accessories can actually cause more conversions because people go on a website, they want to buy everything together. So you need to consider that as well. My general answer would be, it doesn't matter. We've sold things that have a lot of accessories and just cut all that out, like literally hide it from our stores just so we can put ads and focus like customers and navigation on the big products, and it still works out. So if you're new, don't worry too much about getting like all the accessories up and all that stuff. It's just going to be something you can add on later, and it'll kind of help increase conversions a little bit.
Crypto. Well, Focused says that you should put down the pipe, Mike. So put it down.
All right, noted.
Crypto Advocate says, "Do you have anything you'd like Shopify or do you have anything you'd like Shopify or other platforms did better for dropshippers, like more shipping price flexibility?" Now we're using Shopify right now. Nothing to do with shipping price flexibility. There are some other benefits to maybe using like WooCommerce and stuff. We may experiment with that down the line, but I think the benefits would maybe come in payment processor flexibility, SEO benefits, site structure benefits, but nothing to do
Not
with
having employees have access to refunding people.
Yeah. So there are other benefits to non-Shopify, but we have not experimented with yet. Michael Laco says, yes, we need 9K more subscribers.
Yeah, tell your friends.
All right, so unless some more questions are rolling in, we can shut it down.
Yeah, we've hit the hour mark.
Yeah.
So, any final words, Shingsay?
Yeah, I would say, these guys didn't pay me to say it, but I'm gonna say it. You guys out there, if you are listening, you're kind of on the fence and trying to find something. These guys are the real deal. Get their course, get into the elite fleet. It has helped me beyond, it's paid for. It's more than what I paid for, what I got. So go onto Elite Fleet and subscribe to that, pay for the membership. It's not a lot of money. you'll get more out of it than $50 a month. And also the class. I mean, I think that's going to be the best class. I haven't taken every class, but I think that they're more, from my understanding, they explain more. They're able to help you out more, and you can also go to their elite fleet, which is great because you get one-on-one mentorship from them.
There it is. Buildassetsonline.com/membership is the elite fleet. Mike, what's the pricing situation on that? Because people have a very, very limited time to lock in that pricing that Shingsay is talking about, because from what I understand, it's not lasting much longer.
You're right, Joe. Friday at midnight, the price will go up from $47 to $67. So if you do want to lock in $47 a month for life, as long as you're subscribed, then please do it. As Shingsay said, we didn't tell him to say that, but it's such a small expense in the grand scheme of owning an online business, and we know we can give you significant value. And if you don't like it, then you can leave. You know, you'll waste $47 having a bad meal or getting gas for your car. So it's really, there's no risk involved.
Less than the price of a cup of coffee per day, you can join the elite fleet.
I spend that on coffee like per week. So.
All right. Buildassetsonline.com/asset is our dropshipping course. Buildassetsonline.com/Kindle, our Kindle publishing course. Shingsay, you joined the Kindle publishing course, right? Are you planning on executing on that soon?
I am. Just still working on my dropshipping with ads and things like that. But I have listened to the first maybe 4 or 5 lessons.
Was the quality on that up to par? Do you feel that we delivered with that?
I feel like you did. You guys did. So I'm still waiting to get into that. But I've just got my hands tied with this dropshipping right now. So
yeah, one thing at a time. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah. But you got in at the Elite Fleet special membership deal, which is no longer valid, of course. But if you are a member of the Elite Fleet,
you always get first access to our new stuff. You always get the cheapest prices on our new stuff, and you can get basically coaching on it. So
the perks of membership.
The perks.
All right, friends, ladies, gentlemen, we'll see you in the next episode.